Welcome to Bridges to Alignment with Britt Bridges, Wellness Reimagined. This is a safe, transformative space where we explore energy healing, natural wellness, and the connection between mind, body, and soul. Through light, sound, and intention, you'll discover practical ways to align your energy, heal from within, and reconnect with your deepest self. This is your bridge to healing. This is your bridge to alignment.
Hello, welcome in, beautiful souls, to Bridges to Alignment, Wellness Reimagined. For those of you who are joining us today, newly joining us today, my name is Britt Bridges and I am the host. And for those of you who are joining us, returning to join us, thank you, thank you, thank you. I am just so grateful for your time and energy. And I say this time and time again that your time literally is a currency. So I truly am grateful that you have decided to spend your currency here today with me in the studio here at Everything Frederick Live. I am excited because today we're going to talk about chakras. Drop in the comments if you have heard this term before, if this is something that you are familiar with. This is one of my favorite topics to discuss because here at Willow Well, we are very big into balancing the chakras. That's really the key to harmonizing your energy body. And we're going to talk more about how you can do that. We're going to talk about each chakra. Today we're going to focus on the lower chakras. And I always like to start these episodes with getting our body into a receiving state. And a receiving state means taking our body out of fight or flight. So we want to regulate the nervous system. When we regulate the nervous system, it does many things within our energy body. And one is that it allows us to put our body into a state of something called homeostasis. And homeostasis is essentially the state where our body is healing itself. It's producing stem cells on its own with ease. It is allowing our bodily functions to work at their most optimal functionality. And so I'm going to share with you a breathing technique today that I love to do whenever I need to regulate my nervous system. And with these different nervous system regulation tools, be mindful that you can whip these puppies out of your, I like to call it your little wellness toolbox. You can whip it out anywhere. So yes, of course, if you're going into meditation or prayer, or you're winding down for the night, or you're communing with the divine or higher power, we absolutely want to regulate the nervous system. But it's just as important that we take a moment and pause and regulate the nervous system throughout our day. And so we can do this when we're in the car. We can do this when we are at work, just taking a time out, right? Taking those 3 to 5 minutes to really just center into our body, allowing our body to just rest for a moment and experience inner peace. And my friends, this is the most underutilized power that we have, and that is regulating our nervous system. Okay? So what I'd like to do first is find a comfortable seat. You can either lay down if it's more comfortable, sit up if it's more comfortable. But I want you to start by just kind of rolling those shoulders, because we love to carry lots of energy and it gets stagnated in our shoulders. So let's move some of that energy out. Sometimes it feels like we're carrying the weight of the world on our shoulders. Yes, but if we just take a pause a few times a day to kind of shake it out. You can even do some shimmies. You could do some, I call them tapping. You could tap. Yeah, and the tapping is actually mimicking the heartbeat that we heard and felt, because everything is light and sound, when we were in our mother's womb. So that's why tapping is so great for regulating the nervous system. Now, another thing that I highly encourage you do is we loosen the jaw. The jaw gets really tight throughout the day. You could do this by just opening your mouth really wide. Open it as much as you can to feel the jaw bone release. You might even hear some cracking in there. And then go to the right. And then go to the left. Oh yeah. Woo! I feel so good, guys. All right. Now, this breathing technique is what I like to call power breathing. It's just something, the name of it I just came up with on my own because this is what it represents to me, but it's essentially allowing my body to kind of call the power back through breath, because breath is actually the spirit flowing through us, divine, higher power flowing through our body. So that's why it's so important that we take breaths during the day, not just our typical shallow breathing that we do when our bodies are in that fight or flight mode, right? We're more going to be setting our intentions right now for this breath work that we're going to do to put our body into a state of calmness and a state of nervous system regulation. All right, so here we go. So how this works is essentially, I like to do this about 7 times. I mean, it doesn't matter whatever time you have, however much time you have, but essentially this is what it looks like. I'll inhale like this. Through my nose, all the way to the top to fill my belly up. Once I hit the top, I will exhale with a sigh. So it looks like this. So try it with me. Inhale. Exhale out your mouth. Try it again. Inhale through your nose. Exhale. Let's do it again. Inhale with your nose all the way to the top. Exhale. And one more time. Inhale through your nose. And exhale out your mouth with a sigh. Just releasing whatever you need to release. Get it out. Get it out. The purpose is we want emotions to get out of our body, any stuck or stagnant emotions. The emotions from our commute in traffic from the morning, or the rat race to get our children off to school. Just getting all that tension, right? Those emotions that may have come up during those periods of time, they get stuck and stagnant within our energetic body. And that's when those stagnations and blockages and overactiveness of energy can then manifest into physicality as dis-ease in the body. And so that's why we feel these little aches and pains and discomfort and, these different conditions that we have. It's a manifestation of energy that is stuck, stagnant, or overactive within the body. It means there is an imbalance of energy within that part of your body. Okay? And so I do want to offer one thing. We might be talking about some subject matter today that's new to you. And I always say, take what resonates and leave the rest. I do ask, though, that if this is brand new information for you, that if something comes up that maybe you think this is not part of my belief system, that's beautiful, because you're practicing discernment. And discernment is utilizing your intuition, which is what we encourage at Willow Well. That's what I teach my clients, in fact, is how to sharpen your intuition and bring your intuitive abilities online. So discernment is great. I love that. Keep doing that. But just kind of store whatever it is that comes up that you're like, I don't know if that agrees with me. Just store that in your memory. So then later on, you can go into meditation or prayer and commune with your higher power divine, whoever it is that you tap into, and ask, is this my truth? Reveal to me if this is my truth. Because a lot of times well, not a lot of times. The truth is we are programmed. We get programmed since the day we were born, since the day we came into this incarnation. I truly believe we're souls having a human experience. Since the day we were born into this world, we came in with programs, right? There was a system in place. There is laws, there are rules, there are belief systems that our parents were taught by their lineage and their parents, right? And their ancestors. And so what happens is that ends up becoming the blueprint for our life, whatever programs we have been fed. And along the way, as we grow up and we start to establish our own intelligence and our own belief systems, we start to go, I don't know, maybe what I was taught in school, from my parents, maybe that isn't my truth. And let me just applaud you when you question those moments, right? When you go, you know what? I don't know if this agrees with me anymore. That's great, because you, my friend, are taking your power back, and you are going, I am going to start living by my belief system, what I am believing based on the higher power knowledge that I am receiving. And how do we receive that higher power knowledge? We receive that through prayer, through meditation, through nature, because nature is truly what we are. We are connected as one to nature, to Mother Gaia. Mother Gaia is a manifestation of our higher power. Higher power is unconditional love. So know that if you wake up one day and you go, you know what, I don't really subscribe to that anymore. I don't subscribe to that belief system, that you're on the right track, because that's the whole purpose of us being here on this earthly plane, is to grow and evolve and reach a new level of consciousness so we can make this world a better place. Okay? And so that was a long way of saying, if there's something new today, make sure you go and tap in inwardly to see if it's something that is your truth. All right, so drop in the comments if you ever do chakra work, and tell me what chakra you love working with the most. So our chakras, we have 7 main ones. What I have been shown is we have over 144 chakras, though, within our body. And what chakras are is essentially they are the energy centers or the energy hubs of our electrical body. And our electrical body looks like this. I love to use this imagery, because it shows our auric field, it shows the chakras within the energy body from the crown down to the root. And essentially, what we are is we have an electromagnetic field around our body. And this is all based on the principles of quantum physics, okay? That's my job, is to bridge the woo-woo and the science together. So you know that this does subscribe to the principles of scientific theories and quantum physics. I encourage you to just do a simple Google search on quantum physics to learn more about it. You can even go back to, I believe it was episode 1, we talked about quantum physics. Pretty much all the episodes we've sprinkled in information about quantum physics. But essentially, that's where existence has been hidden in plain sight. I mean, I don't know about you, but I know that I never learned about quantum physics when I was in school. And it wasn't until 2.5 years ago I was shown by higher power that I needed to research that. And I learned that we are light and sound. We are tiny scalar waves of light and sound. Okay, and that's what makes up our energetic body. And within this is we have an auric field that expands 3 feet out. It can actually expand all the way out to 6 feet if our heart chakra is fully activated, because our heart chakra is actually what bridges the lower chakras and the higher chakras to this plane. And it's the most powerful because the heart chakra is tapping into that unconditional love, which is the highest frequency of any frequency. So when we talk about raising our frequency, it's really utilizing that heart chakra to raise that frequency. And so within our energetic body, and by the way, the reason you can't see this light and this sound, these scalar waves of light and sound, is because the human eye can only see 0.0093% of the spectrum of light. Can you believe that? We can only see a little speck of the light. And examples of light that we can't see with our eyeballs is X-rays and red light and the scalar waves of light and sound from cell towers and how we're getting information to our cell phones and our computers, right? We don't see that light, but we know it's happening because we're getting the information. And we're getting that information because that energy and light is moving constantly, constantly. Just like Earth, we're sitting on, it is a huge electromagnetic field, and it's sitting on 2 poles. There's a pole in the north and a pole in the south. That's no different than a human. We are a microcosm of the macrocosm. Earth is the macrocosm, and we're the microcosm of that. We have a north pole and a south pole, and energy is constantly moving within that toroidal field. And our electrical bodies, they thrive on energy moving constantly. Energy moving constantly. That's why exercise is so good for us. That's why moving the body is so good for us. That's why yoga, Pilates, Qigong, all the different, energetic types of physical activities are so good for us because it's movement through the body, breath work, moving energy through the body. Because, my friends, when energy gets stuck, stagnant, or overactive within our field, it causes disharmony within our system. And that disharmony manifests as dis-ease or medical conditions within our body. Okay? And I do say this, and I like to always give this disclaimer, I'm not a medical practitioner. I am a Reiki master. And I've studied energy. I have a passion for being an energy educator. So obviously, anything I share with you today is all from a energetic and spiritual perspective and lens. If you feel called to see a medical practitioner for any reason, please do so. The Western medicine system does have a purpose, it has a purpose. But in my opinion, it's not the solution for everything, for all of our health, for the whole health blueprint for our bodies. Because when we address the energetics of our bodies, we're addressing things holistically, right? So looking at the whole picture, we're addressing things naturally. We're addressing things preventatively. Is that even a word? Yes, so we're focusing on preventative care. So let's jump into the lower chakras, and we're gonna start with, oh, you know what? Let's light this. This is an incense, just to kind of lighten the mood in here, raise the frequency. What's cool about incense and sage is this is the frequency of Mother Earth, of nature. And so what it does is it acts like a binder, and it grabs any low frequencies within whatever space you're in. And then you just ask for it to be transmuted, my friends. That's how you transmute energy. You just literally set intentions. I ask for this incense to transmute any low frequencies or negative energies within this field into higher frequencies of divine love and light, whatever you would like. All right, yeah. It's crazy. I felt an instant upliftment in the energetics in this space. Okay, so as mentioned before, our lower chakras, what are the main things that impact our chakras? And that's going to be things in our environment, our physical environment, things in our emotional environment. So let's talk about the physical environment. So things that can cause blockages or imbalances within the chakras are going to be chemicals that have low frequencies. So, a lot of the foods that we eat are sprayed with those lower frequency chemicals, the glyphosates, and then, a lot of our home care beauty products and the cleaners and things that we use at home that we're subjecting ourselves to daily, those contain like the phthalates and the parabens and things like that. And so it's really imperative that we are aware of this. We're aware that these chemicals are causing our energetic bodies to become imbalanced. And that's simple, right? There's simple ways to replace those items, and there's alternatives that are better for you and better for the environment as well. And so if you need information on where to find cleaner products, let me know, because I have great resources for you. But I would say that was one of my first steps on my wellness journey. Was about 4.5 years ago. I switched all my beauty products and cleaning products to clean products, right? So they don't use those lower frequency chemicals. And I saw immediate effects, positive effects. And so that's one step in terms of we can help to keep our chakras in balance. Another is what in our environment is toxic, right? Not just the physical things and products we put on, but what relationships are toxic to us? What places are toxic to us? That could be your workplace. That could be your family space. That could be your friend group. That could be the communities you hang out in, okay? Can also be our mental state. What negative thought loops continue to loop in our minds, right? That's also low frequency. That's also pulling down our frequency and creating these imbalances within the energetic body. So I invite you to sit down and really write on a journal, write on a piece of paper, what in my life is toxic? You know, I don't think I'm good enough. That's toxic. Every time I wear this perfume, it makes me sick and gives me hives. That's toxic. This relationship I'm in, every time I leave this person, I feel lower frequency. I feel sad. I feel the lower frequency emotions. I feel sad, angry, guilty, shameful, whatever it is. That's low frequency. So really getting honest with yourself about what is it in my life that is toxic. Because that right there is a great roadmap of what you can do to really take your power back, harness that power within you, and make changes in your life. Because that will directly impact your energetic body. It will start to balance your chakras naturally. That's just something you can do naturally on your own without any extra support or work. And when we talk about emotions, okay, we talk about the spectrum of emotions. And I think I have right here, I want to show you. The spectrum of light. Each color coincides with an emotion. So here, the higher frequencies, we have enlightenment, peace, joy, love, reason, acceptance, willingness, neutrality here in the middle. The lower chakra, or I'm sorry, the lower chakras and the lower emotions, we've got courage, pride, anger, desire, fear, grief, apathy, guilt, shame. Desire is also is going to be like the lustful things, okay? And you know, while all those things serve a purpose, right, for our survival, for us to know, because we always have to see the polarity of things, right? We have to see the good and the bad. We have to see the happy, the sad. We have to see the up and the down. That's what our school is all about. That's important, right? But it's having an awareness that, oh, when I am angry, when I am feeling guilty, when I am living my life in shame, when I am not feeling worthy, that is an actual frequency that is pulling down your overall core frequency, and it's creating those blockages within your energetic body. All right, so before we jump into each of the lower chakras individually, we're going to take a quick break with some local sponsors, and we'll be right back.
Sponsored by Lawn Squad. Quick and easy quote, and you can be on your way to having the best lawn in the neighborhood. Watch the progress as Brian from Lawn Squad brings Danny's lawn back to life. Visit lawnsquad.com. Sponsored by Maryland Lottery. Tons of ways to win. Hot scratch-offs like big money where a $5 ticket could net you $50,000 or the $2 Monopoly ticket with a top prize of $10,000. Go to mdlottery.com for all the details. Plus, you can download the app and scan your tickets to see if you're a winner. Must be 18 to play. Please play responsibly.
All right, welcome back. All right, so let's jump right into the root chakra. The root chakra is so important, guys, because that is actually the frequency of our 3D world. Survival, finances, feeling safe, feeling in our physical body, okay? All very important things. It is associated with the color red. So if you are looking to balance this chakra, wearing the color red or eating the color red, because remember, color is essentially sound collapsed down into color, and the color is something you can set intentions to help to balance the chakra. So if you're feeling unstable, ungrounded, not in your physical body, and you may be experiencing some of the emotions that are attached to the root chakra, like fear, anxiety, instability, the inability to, you know, experience what's happening in the present moment. All these things you can use, eat, or wear the color red to help balance you. Okay. And when we're looking at the emotional frequency scale, or the scale of the spectrum of light that we can see, red here, which is the root chakra, is the lowest frequency chakra. And it's vibrating at the frequency of 396. And that lower frequency is why we can see our physical bodies, essentially. Why we can touch and feel our bodies, because it is a frequency that is vibrating at a low frequency. But when we start moving up into like our crown chakra, this frequency is more entering into the spiritual world, the world of the unseen, what we can't see, and it's vibrating really high, right? So for example, I love to use this example of a fan, right? If a fan is spinning very slowly, you can see it, right, with your physical eyes. But when a fan is spinning super, super, super fast, right, you can't see it because it's vibrating at a higher frequency, and that's why we can't see it. So when we're thinking in terms of frequency, that is how we're able to see the lower frequencies versus the higher frequencies. Okay? And the root chakra is very important because it's pretty much what anchors us in to the planet. And a really great way for you to feel anchored into the planet is to imagine roots coming out of your feet, and those roots going down into Mother Gaia, down into Earth, going very deep into Mother Gaia. And you can imagine a red disc spinning gently, because remember, our energy centers, our chakras, they are pretty much like, I like to call them energy discs, gently moving. So you can imagine a red disc down in the root chakra. So your root chakra is the base of your spine. It's going to include everything below the base of your spine. So your lower extremities. It's going to include your spine, kidneys, even your nervous system. Now, all your chakras are attached to your nervous system, so that's important to note. It's also colon, legs, feet. So if you're having any dis-ease or you're having any complications in any of these parts of your body, that is a very good indicator that your root chakra needs some TLC. It needs some attention. And so when this chakra is imbalanced, I also want to talk about some of the different emotions that you can experience, okay? A lot of that is going to be fear, instability, scarcity is a big one because the root chakra is attached to our finances. It's also, you could feel abandonment, insecurity, lack, okay? And so if you're feeling any of those emotions, that's also a good indicator that it's time to balance the root chakra. And some indicators that you have a balanced root chakra is going to be you're feeling confident, you're you have vitality, you feel alive, you're living in the present moment here on this planet. You feel stable, you feel grounded, you feel secure in where you're at in life and your finances. Okay? So some ways that we can work with the root chakra in balancing it is going to be grounding. Grounding is your best friend. And what that looks like is literally going outside, taking off your shoes, putting your bare feet onto grass or dirt or rock or even in natural water, and instantly you will get connected to earth. And it's pretty magical because in that moment when your bare feet hit the ground, if you actually put intentions and awareness, you will notice, you'll feel almost like a zap of energy, positive energy going into your body. And doing this 20 minutes a day is so helpful. For those of you who live in the colder climates, I recommend getting the mats, the grounding mats or the sheets. I sleep with a sheet at night. It helps tremendously and they really work. And there's actually a way you can test them using headphones and the gold, the grounding plug to test them. But I've tested mine and mine do in fact work. And so I do recommend that if you're looking to invest in something like that, because, you know, I get it. It's hard sometimes to get outside. It's hard sometimes to be able to take the time to be in nature. I highly recommend it, but when you can't, you can use your mat. Also, meditation. Meditation, if you remember anything today for balancing your chakras, meditation is the number one thing. Because when you go into meditation and you allow your body to go into that peaceful state, you are able to then use visualizations and send energy from the divine to balance that chakra. So I love to go into meditation. I go onto YouTube a lot and I'll even do guided meditations. For the root chakra or for whatever chakra that I feel like is imbalanced. And I'll follow along and I will envision that red disc gently spinning in my root chakra and imagine the energy just flowing, because that's the purpose, right? Flowing energy. That's the number one key to all this energy work, is you want the energy flowing, the life force energy flowing through your body. Okay. We can also eat the color red, wear the color red, do the mantra LAM. This is very powerful. It's spelled LAM, but it's pronounced LAUM. LAM. You can add the hand mudra, your ring finger and thumb. Close your eyes and imagine that red disc in your root chakra, and then feel the vibration as you say the mantra. Do it with me now. Lam. Allowing that vibration to go all the way down into your feet, into those imaginary roots coming out of your feet into the ground, to really ground that in. Can also use crystals. For those of you that don't use crystals, I recommend them, and that's because they carry the frequency of nature, of existence, of life and vitality. And so using crystals, they're actually, you can charge them. Some of them you charge at night. You can look this up online. Some you charge in the sunlight. But essentially, once you charge them and you use them, you can actually feel when they're in your hand that frequency, just a slight upliftment in the frequency. But obsidian is a really great one to use. Pretty much any dark crystal, darker colored crystal. Tourmaline is another good one that you can use for grounding. Awesome. All right, so now we're going to move to the sacral chakra. The sacral chakra is all about emotions. It's our hub of emotions. It actually is where we store our traumas, where we store, and the traumas, and I mean from past life, current life, childhood, adulthood, ancestral traumas, we store in this area. We also store wounding from our mothers, our fathers, our lineage in this space. It's also our hub of creation, of divine creation. And this, my friends, is why this chakra is the most attacked of all the chakras, because that is where sexual energy is. And sexual energy is also life force energy. And life force energy is what powers us. It's that power that I say, call your power back. That's what life force energy is. It's the energy that is around us that the divine provides to give us life and vitality. And when this sacral chakra is attacked through sexual acts, right? So again, this is kind of trigger warning. So I do want to say that, but when it is attacked by lower entities and lower frequencies sexually, that's why you see a lot of these just horrendous, horrid sexual attacks and abuse, right? On women, children, men, everybody. Everybody's included in this, right? Why the system has sexualized everything in films, in commercials, in products, in music, why everything is so sexualized. It's because that is a direct attack on that chakra. Because if the frequency of your sacral chakra is lowered, then you're essentially giving all that life force energy, that creative energy away. Okay, so this is a very important one. And with this one, this is the center for emotions, creativity, pleasure, and intimacy. When it's balanced, you'll feel emotionally stable. Okay, you'll feel emotionally intelligent. You'll feel creative. So if you're feeling emotionally imbalanced, if you're feeling like you have no creativity, there you go. Now you know it's the sacral chakra that you want to focus on balancing. Okay, and we're going to talk about how to balance that here shortly. When you're starting to feel pleasure again, when you're starting to feel connected to the present moment and life and really feeling pleasure in that moment, you know you have a balanced sacral chakra. Okay, so the sacral chakra is the hub for managing how we process feelings, our social connections, even our sensory experiences. All right. If you are experiencing any lack, scarcity, low creativity, we talked about on imbalanced emotions. Those are the emotions that are associated with an imbalanced chakra. Physically, if you're experiencing anything in this lower abdomen, so below the navel, so the sacral chakra is located below the belly button and above the base of the spine in this area. So that's all of our reproductive organs, our sexual organs, our kidneys, our bladder, our lower back, our large intestines. Okay, so if you're experiencing any abnormalities, conditions, dis-ease in these areas, your sacral chakra is something that you'll want to focus on balancing. Let's talk about how we can balance them. And I do want to also mention to you guys that if you work on these at home, which I encourage you to do, and it actually, if you go to my website, willowwell.org, and you scroll down and you join my community, it's basically just you'll get like a community newsletter every quarter. But you also will receive in your inbox this beautiful resource that you can print and put on your refrigerator. And what it is an amazing guide on all your chakras. It's how to balance the 7 chakras. It's everything that we're talking about now. So you can go, oh, my sacral chakra, I'm experiencing compulsive behaviors, emotional instability, shame, lack of creativity. What's something I can do at home to balance it? Well, we can eat the color orange. We can do some meditations sacral chakra meditations, we can chant the mantra VAM, spelled V-A-M, pronounced V-A-U-M, VAM, VAM. We can do the hand mudra. Put your pinky and your thumb together like the number 3. And then I want you to do this with me. I want you to focus your energy and the vibration of the VAM in your lower abdomen. Here we go. VAM. And as you feel that vibration, imagine an orange disc gently spinning to get the energy flowing through there, to get the stuck and stagnant emotions out of that chakra. VAM. Awesome. You can also work with, what do we have? We have, I don't know why my crystals are escaping me right now. Amber, that's what it is. We have amber and we have citrine. These are 2 great crystals to work with, but any crystal that is in the yellowish orange or dark orange or orangish red color palette, those are great ones to work with for your sacral chakra. You can also listen to Healing Frequency 417. If you have Spotify, just type in chakra balancing healing frequencies and it will pull up some really amazing frequencies to help balance your chakras as well. YouTube is another really great resource. When you're listening to it, if it is not resonating with you, when I say that resonating, we are light and sound. A resonance is a sound resonance. If you're having a weird reaction, it's not connecting with your soul, your spirit, your heart, go and find another one. Because the last thing you want to do is listen to something that is not resonant, because if that will cause a dissonance within your body, right? Anything that's not resonating positively with you will cause something called a dissonance, which then causes an imbalance within your energetic body. So go and find somebody else. If you don't like somebody that's doing a guided meditation, find somebody else. And if you go to Willow Well Wellness Community, you can also find some guided meditations on there. And then also I have shared on there a really great meditation technique to help you find your inner personal sanctuary that is exclusive to you, to help you to find your 0 point for meditation. So that's another great one to look up. All right, last but not least is our solar plexus. So our solar plexus is going to be above our navel and below our ribs in this area. And this is the hub for our confidence, self-esteem, for personal power. So if you're feeling powerless, if you're feeling low self-esteem, if you don't have confidence, if you experience shyness, if you feel like you don't have energetic boundaries and people are taking your power away, this is a really great chakra to focus on balancing. And this helps to shape our identity and purpose. This is where we tap in to our purpose. So when we're journaling and we're saying, this is another really great practice, is journaling. And when we say, what is my purpose here on this planet? And you're working through that, the solar plexus is a great one to assist you in helping you to find what is your purpose here on this planet. So tap into that along with the heart chakra. And the body parts that are associated with the solar plexus is going to be our digestive system, our gallbladder, our upper abdomen, our stomach, our liver, our pancreas, our spleen, intestines, kidney, diaphragm, and our nervous system. And so if you're experiencing any All right, so an imbalanced solar plexus can look like anger. This is a big one. So if you're experiencing anger, um, you know, just out of nowhere rage. This is a really great chakra to focus on. Also, anxiety, insecurity, controlling behavior. So if you're having those compulsive moments and that you feel like you want to control, which we all know control is connected to fear, we'll work on the solar plexus. Victim mentality, this is a big one. So if we're staying in victim mentality, right, that means that our power is being taken away from us. And the solar plexus is all about power. And so I'm going to share with you something really important. So take note of this. Add this to your practice every day. Being intentional to call your power back. So how I do it is I tap into higher spirit, higher power, and I say, Divine Spirit, I call back all my energy and power from all people, places, things, situations, and lower frequencies at this time. And I ask that it returns to my energetic body now. And I will imagine light, yellow and white, golden light coming in through my feet, through the sides of my body, into my auric field, into my crown, just all around me, coming, entering my body, and all centering in my solar plexus. Tell me, do this, try this, pause this now and try it, and then comment, how do you feel? Because it's pretty miraculous how you feel instantly, that power all returning to you, and it boosts your frequency immediately. All right, and ways that we can balance the solar plexus. We can balance the solar plexus by meditating. So again, going onto YouTube, looking up some solar plexus meditations, calling your power back, that little exercise I just gave you right now. You can eat yellow, nutrient-dense foods. And I probably should have said this earlier. When you're eating the foods, I mean nutrient-dense foods, foods that are from the planet, foods that are actually powered by light, because that's what things from our planet are. They're organic matter and they're light and sound, and our bodies are electrical. And that's why we need to eat nutrient-dense foods from our planet, because that powers our body. It gives us more electricity, more power. So yellow foods such as yellow bell peppers, squash, bananas, those are really great ones to eat. And then when you set the intention into them, right? Again, I mean, you could wear and eat yellow things, but what is the most powerful is that you're setting intentions into that food and into that clothing that you're wearing. And this is a really great one to balance the solar plexus, is the mirror exercise. Looking in the mirror and being your own cheerleader. I love you, Britt. I love you, Britt. I love you, Britt. I'm so proud of you, Britt. I'm so proud of you, Britt. I'm so proud of you, Britt. You're doing great. You're doing great. You keep going, keep going. Looking in your eyes in the mirror. This is a powerful technique to build your self-confidence, to build your self-esteem, and to take your power back. And remember who you are, my friends. I was placed on this planet to be an activator, to help you remember who you are. And that is one thing that will immediately help you remember who you are, is when you look in the mirror and you recognize through your eyes, that eye contact, your soul down to a soul level. You can also work with the sun. The sun is solar powered, solar plexus, solar powered. So going in the sun, I recommend you go in the sun as much as possible. I know that's hard for those of us living in the colder climates in the winter and stuff, but yes, sun as much as possible. If you can get 20 minutes a day, that's great. And then setting the intentions for those solar codes, that light from the sun, to go into your solar plexus, to return the power to you, and to charge your electrical body, to charge your confidence and your self-esteem and your purpose. And then lastly, you can work with crystals. So tiger's eye, that's a really good one. Your citrine, again, anything in that orangey yellow or yellow coloration family are great crystals to work with for your solar plexus. And so if you work with this and you do this chakra work on your own and you're still finding that you can't break through fully, reach out to me, because that's what I specialize in. Is I work on your energetic body to clear out that stuck, stagnant, and imbalanced energy within your chakras. And when I say this, I mean this. This is not for you to get stuck on a system, an endless cycle of coming to see me. This is, I help you do these clearings. I will do these clearings on you, and then I will teach you how to do these clearings on yourself, because I'm a huge proponent of teaching you to and empowering you to become your own healer. Because, my friends, I'm not the healer. I'm just here to help you remember that you're the healer. So if you need further assistance, you want to learn more about chakras, I do offer workshops as well at willowwell.org. Always reach out to me for one-on-ones. I love you guys so much. It's been a pleasure spending today with you, and I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next episode. And thank you to Everything Frederick Live. Be sure to subscribe, like, and share. Take care of yourself, and don't forget to meditate. Bye.
Thanks for joining Britt Bridges on Bridges to Alignment. If this message spoke to you, be sure to like and subscribe for more conversations on energy healing, natural wellness, and living in alignment with your highest self. Bridges to Alignment is proudly part of the Everything Frederick Live podcast network and can be rewatched anytime on the Everything Frederick Live YouTube channel. Until next time, stay grounded, stay open, and keep aligning with the life you are meant to live.
This episode is a proud production of the Everything Frederick Live podcast network. Your home for Frederick's best podcasts, streaming daily on YouTube.